full meeting. But the general evaluator role actually does more than what I used to think it does. So here it is. I just have 2.5 minutes, so I'm going to quickly go through it. And obviously, if you have questions or details, we can chat about it later, or I can point you to resources. The purpose of a general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place in a meeting. Throughout the meeting, they take notes on what happens and what doesn't happen, and also evaluate each participant, right from the sergeant at arms all the way down up to the president and everyone in between. So here are a couple of points about how to do this role in an assiduous manner. Before the meeting, he or she makes sure or observes whether the room and the equipment was set up in time. At the opening of the meeting, they check to see if the presiding officer was well prepared and organized. Did the meeting start on time? Was everyone properly introduced? And also, was the Toastmaster properly introduced? Now, going back to specific roles, for the Toastmaster, the general evaluator is observing a few points. Did they was that role filled prior to the meeting or not? Did the Toastmaster introduce and explain the meeting's theme? Did they introduce the general evaluator as well as the topics master? Although in our meetings, sometimes the general evaluator does the topics master introduction. Moving on to the other things that the general evaluator is looking for. Was the grammarian properly introduced, and did they come in and explain their role for the benefit of the entire membership, particularly the new members? Was the word of the day challenging enough, appropriate, and fitting for the theme of the meeting? Was the timer prepared, and did they introduce their role in the allotted time? Counter, how did they go about their role? And also, was the general evaluator's report given at the end? And finally, the topics master. Was the purpose and timing of the table topics properly explained? Did the topics master call on people who did not have a meeting role first during the table topics? It's an important thing to keep in mind. If you're ever at table topics, you need to know who to call on and who not to call on. And was the control properly returned to the Toastmaster at the end of the general evaluator's report? That is it. I know it was a lot, but most of it is self-explanatory. With that, I will hand the control back over to Madam Toastmaster.